Hello everyone on the internet and welcome to OneUp's. This is our very first live stream that we've done here with our new setup.
This is the first one we've done live. We've done recorded ones before, but this is the first.
So yeah, we are set up here in the Ryan Winterhalter Memorial live stream studio, which is actually just a corner of our office. And we have a copy of the final version of Super Mario 3D Land in Office, so we're going to play a few levels for everyone and give this thing a go, see how it works. I'm going to jump right in and start with Mario. Hi, I'm Jeremy Parrish. I'm the EIC of OneUp, and with me here is
Ryan Winterhalter, Associate Games Editor.
And I've played a bit of this, and I'm working on the review. Ryan, I guess you're here to be
the audience surrogate,
yeah.
The one who knows nothing.
Yes, ask me insightful questions or whatever. All right, so let's go back to World 1 and just play through the first level of Super Mario 3D Land. You'll have to forgive me if the picture goes out of frame occasionally, because
Dave says to turn up Jeremy's mic.
oh, I'm not loud enough. Sorry, everyone. Anyway, the first level here. Mario jumping on Goombas, stomping things, etc., etc. Anyway, this is 3DS, so we don't have direct feed. It's all off camera, and I'm going to do my best to play at a weird angle while holding this up for everyone. So if I kind of suck, that is my excuse. But I do have 42 lives stocked up after playing through the first 2 worlds of the game, so I think I can afford to fumble around a little bit. But
So
I do want to impress everyone. Go ahead.
Yeah, is the whole game left to right like this?
No, it varies up a lot. For instance, you can go in this little hole, and there's that. Oh, smash that, come out here. There's kind of the level design varies a lot. There are some levels that are like this, where it's very much a kind of linear thing in places, but then it also kind of opens up to more freeform design. Uh-oh, are we still having troubles?
One of us, apparently I'm too loud and you're too quiet, so...
Well, that's how it always is, Ryan.
I know.
All right, I'll speak louder. I'll let my actions speak for me. That's how it should be, because you're the audience surrogate. Whereas I'm actually playing. My actions have to speak louder than my words. Yeah, so here's like a hidden area of the first world where you can hop up and find a secret room. This is kind of a cool room. It's got an isometric view, and it totally plays with your perspective, because it looks like you should be able to just go here and jump up onto that platform, but you can't. So then you hop up over on the little eye switch, and all of a sudden it changes perspective, and you realize they've been using this kind of trompe l'oeil thing to fake you out.
So it's like Echo Chrome and Mario.
A little bit, yeah. And yeah, playing this at a weird angle is not helping with the perspective.
Now, have you played much in 3D yet?
I have somewhat. I obviously can't do that for off-screen video because it would look terrible and everyone would say, why does this game look so awful? So I don't want to do that. But yeah, there are some levels that are really tough if you can't play in 3D. I mean, the game is really designed around the depth effect of the 3DS. It's not just a gimmick here, it's actually like a tangible, substantial element of the game. I might be able to show one of those later, but again, there's lots of little hidden things here. Like this is just a little nook of the level where you get a bonus time, and there's some coins and stuff. It's not necessary to go up here, but you get more points at the end if you collect the extra time, because you're graded on how much time you have left over at the end of the game, or at the end of the level. And every level has this little, or not every level, but a lot of levels have this little place where you can look into the into these binoculars and then use the gyroscope to tilt the angle. But you can also use the controller. In this case, you want to look up to Toad. Right. Toad's not very good at finishing the level, though. Probably seems to disappear. But yeah, he doesn't really make the jump, so that's why Mario. Well, my audience surrogate seems to enjoy this, so I'm just going to be talking to myself. Cool. There we go. Awesome. I'm glad that all worked out. Know if something's live stream or if they're just crazy.
Yeah, sorry about that. I was just trying to... So I was going to go grab an iPad so that we could take audience questions live right here, but then I realized that the iPad that we have in the office right now needs to be plugged into iTunes before it's going to work.
Oh well, technology, always our bane. So if you notice, there are a lot of references to Super Mario Bros. 3 in this game. not only do you have the raccoon and tanuki suits, but also the bad guys do too. And that's explained in the opening cinema of the game. Apparently there is one tree that looks like a big raccoon in the Mushroom Kingdom, and it has all those magical leaves on it, and Bowser creates a foul wind to blow the leaves away, etc., etc.
So does it actually say that it's supposed to look like a raccoon?
No, when it's denuded of its leaves, it looks like a raccoon.
Okay.
It's a tree with a tail, which is strange, but you know, it's Mario. It's a world of whimsical fantasy, and as you can see, inflation has affected the Mushroom Kingdom. Instead of getting like 500 points for topping the flagpole, you now get a 1-up. That's one reason that I have some ungodly number of 1-ups at this point in the game.
Have you gotten to a point where you're going to need those?
There was one level where things were kind of, I can show it off actually. Things were kind of flipping out in front of me, and I kept going for this one bonus coin, and it kept kicking my ass. I kept falling and dying. Actually, I want to go to this level because it's really fun. This is kind of the, you know, there's a lot of referentialism in this game, and this is the most referential level. As you can see, it's shaped like the Mario sprite from Super Mario Brothers. When you step on these blocks, then you get coins arranged in the shape of an M, the letter M. Those went up, and these go kind of along the ground.
So far, would you say it takes off more after the Mario Land games or Mario 3? Because it has both it references both of those in the title.
Nothing in common with Mario Land. Mario Land was developed by Nintendo R&D 1, you know, Gunpei Yokoi's group, and the people who worked on those games had no experience with the Mario series beforehand, and they just took the Mario series in completely random, weird directions. This is very much like the progeny of classic Mario. Koizumi, the producer or director of this game, worked on Super Mario Brothers 3, and of course, the main development team worked on Mario Galaxy and Mario Galaxy 2. So this is more, in a lot of ways, a traditional Mario game, whereas the Mario Land games are just wacky and have no bearing on the rest of the series as you know it. But this is, Nintendo has said that this is really strongly referencing Super Mario Brothers 3 in a lot of ways, beyond just the raccoon tails. I don't know, there is something very Mario 3-ish about it.
Are the levels bite-sized in the same way that Mario 3 was?
I mean, you've seen the levels so far. They're not nearly that small. Mario 3 levels are tiny. These are actually quite a bit bigger. And, you know, they have a lot of open areas, kind of like places to explore and go off the main track. And that's more a Mario World, Mario Galaxy kind of thing. So it's not, you know, it's not a slavish imitation of Super Mario Brothers 3, but there is a lot of that same spirit in it. You know, the note blocks and things like that. It's a little bit of everything, something for everyone.
And if you could move your screen down just the littlest bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Something like that. Can't remember where I'm supposed to go from here, but I guess I just flip out and go across this this vast expanse. So the propeller block is a little bit new the way it works here. I mean, this is an item that's shown up in other Mario games, but not quite like this, because when you have the propeller block on, you can still spin around and attack things, and I have no idea how to get that coin down there. I think you'll die. Anyway, so yeah, there's a lot of like ways that this game approaches familiar Mario standbys without making it seem like it's the same old thing you've played a million times. It still feels kind of different and fresh.
Do all the power-ups have a unique little twist to them like that? Like, is the Tanuki suit, does that have any abilities or twists on it that weren't present in Mario 3?
The main twist of the Tanuki suit, the main difference from Mario 3 is that it's not really the Tanuki suit, it's really just the raccoon tail. But it looks like the Tanuki suit. You can't actually turn into a statue when you're wearing the Tanuki suit. And what was the other thing the Tanuki suit could do? Well, obviously you can't really fly, you just hover a little bit.
Was the Tanuki suit the one where you turned into a statue?
Yeah. You press down and attack to turn into a statue, but that doesn't work here. Oh, here's a nice little bit of retro Mario.
So this is, wait, that's Mario 3 Hill?
No, this is Super Mario Brothers,
that's Super Mario Brothers?
But what I like about this is you have kind of like the current Mario question block, and then you have this sprite-looking one, but it's also a real block. It's kind of one of those trick the eye things again. Whoa. I fell right off. Okay, and then Here we go. Another 1-up. Oh, 2 1-ups because the block turned into a 1-up. This game just hands out 1-up like candy.
Well, that's sort of been Mario Galaxy had, it was pretty easy to get extra lives in as well. It seems to be the way the series going is they can step up the difficulty, but by giving you extra lives, it never feels too terribly punishing.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So I want to show this one off, World 2-4, because it was the one where I died a lot because there's this one coin that's really really tough to get. Okay, and the trick of this is that there are these blocks that flip every time you jump. They swap around, so you have to kind of plan your jumps and think about how you're approaching it. Of course, it's a lot easier if you have the raccoon tail from a previous level because it lets you hover, and so your jumps aren't quite as... when you jump, you don't have to commit to a jump like you do when you're not using the raccoon suit, the Tanuki suit. And also, these guys are a lot easier to get rid of if you can just swap them. One of the things I was disappointed about in the first stage of the game, if you noticed, there were those blocks in the background, very much like World 1-1 of Super Mario Bros. 3. Whoa, see? Uh-oh. Crisis. I died on camera. I'll never live it down.
I'm sure
How could I beat the game with only 49 lives left?
I'm sure the commenters will never let you hear the end of it.
I'm sure. Well, I'm on record as making dumb mistakes with this game. There's the video I did where I tried to jump onto the flagpole on the airship and somehow jumped into the background and died. It was pretty awesome.
Now, is controlling depth particularly difficult?
What do you mean by controlling depth?
Like when you're, I guess, controlling exactly where you're going to jump into this 3D environment.
Well, again, it really helps to have the 3D slider on. When you don't have it on, I feel like the game really does kind of have a small amount of degradation. Like it definitely affects the game. So what was I doing there?
Have you run into a recreation of World 1-1 yet? That seems to be the thing for, I guess not Mario platformers to do, but for all the platformers to do somewhere.
I think maybe Nintendo has already done Mario 1-1 before, and they don't need to prove anything. That's my guess, because no, I haven't run into that. And I feel like they've done that before already, like recreated 1-1. Again, the first level of the game was very much like Super Mario Bros. 3 World 1-1, and it had those kind of blocks in the background with the screws on them. But it didn't have any white ones. If you remember the white ones...
The white ones you could slide through.
Yeah, you could hold down and you duck behind them, but there were none of those. I was really... Like, as soon as I saw those blocks, I was like, oh, cool, I wonder if you can duck behind them. And then I never actually saw them. So they kind of cheaped out, I think. They weaseled out. And apparently I'm being too quiet again.
It's already a max.
Alright, so this is the part where I kept dying, because you can see the block, or the coin, hovering above that block that's flying. You can see the shadow it casts. But actually getting onto that block is really, really tough. Oh, hang on a sec. Apparently, I'm not being loud enough, so I'm going to move my mic closer to my mouth and hope that that helps. Alright, so... Oh, I did it! Success. Oh, sadness. See? That's just how this game goes. And there's no midpoint marker in this one, so if you screw up, you go back to the beginning. Anyway, this level is currently my pâté noir. It wants me to die and be sad.
That looks tricky.
That was tricky. Thanks for noticing. Yeah, I mean, already in the game, it's not hard yet at the point that I'm at, but there are definitely some moments that have kind of made me sweat.
Now, is the variety of things you do up to like Galaxy level standards? Are you doing something different every stage?
I mean, every single level has its own very unique theme. Like no two levels that I've seen have been alike. Not only in terms of what you're doing, but also just in terms of the aesthetics, the looks of it.
So the worlds aren't even themed then? Like World 1, is that themed Super Mario Bros. 3 themed?
Like World 2, the map area kind of has this retro vibe going to it, but there's only the one level that has that very specific, peculiar retro look to it, the one that we saw with the sprites.
So it sounds like they were being very cautious then about how much they traded on that nostalgia.
Yeah, I think so. I think Nintendo knows that there's, they have a commodity in nostalgia and memories and fan affection, but at the same time, I think they're also wary of cashing in on that too much because you cash in on it, and then what do you have to cash in on later? They gotta parcel it out a little piece at a time. All right, so I think we don't want to go too long with this live stream. How long have we been? Like 15 minutes?
Let's see. Yeah, 15
All
minutes.
right. So we're gonna do one more stage and call it a day, and then my poor arms can take a break.
Was that a battleship, Mario 3 style?
Yeah, we actually have video of this on the site. I feel like we probably don't need to show it again, but yeah, that's a traditional Super Mario Brothers 3 airship with bullet bills and little dudes with wrenches and so on and so forth. A boom boom at the end. It's very Mario Brothers 3. But this is actually my favorite level so far. It's kind of a pyramid in the desert, and it's really by far the most open-ended level that I've seen in the game so far. There's the tower in the center, which it presents as kind of like the goal, but really there's just a bunch to do on the ground level of this stage. There's these guys who come out of the sand and try to chomp you.
Now, is there only one goal in each level? Like, there's no stars to collect?
Right. Yeah. So far, I've only seen one goal. So you can jump in this this cannon and go straight to the main tower, but that's boring. Let's look at all the other stuff. Yeah, so a lot of the levels are set up in kind of like a circular format where the camera is fixed, but it follows you around and sort of rotates around the stage.
Have you run into any camera issues at all?
No, aside from me just being very clumsy as I'm live streaming this. I don't know if you can hear it on the live stream, but this is by collecting these notes, you create the melody from, I can't remember which one it is offhand, but if you get them all, then you get a little bit of applause, and they give you a raccoon leaf, and then you can break that block and duck in here, and there's a hidden coin, which is kind of awesome. And if you keep exploring, even places you think you shouldn't necessarily be able to go, like the backside of the pyramid here, oh hey, there's something. There's some coins, and it's something big, but it's just a few extra coins to collect. So that's pretty cool. Let me see if there's anything else around here. That's pretty much it for the really interesting stuff in the desert, like the kind of little novel twists. So I'm going to go on up to the tower and cannon myself over, like Super Mario 64 style.
So what are the new power-ups that you've encountered so far? There was the block, and it's sort of the twist on that.
I haven't really... Have I encountered new power-ups? No. I mean, there are some known power-ups, but I haven't made it far enough in the game to show them off. There's a boomerang suit to let you be a boomerang brother. So I'm going to use the gyro to aim here. You can see that. And fire at that one up. Oh, but it's a fake! You bastards! Wait, what's this? Oh, it's a real one up. Oh, actually, if you do this right, you can get one of those blocks you were just talking about, and you can totally skip through a bunch of the level by just flying up, kind of alongside the pyramid.
So it is like Mario 3 in the sense that there are multiple paths through many of the levels, like that.
Yeah, well, Mario 3 didn't really have multiple paths through the levels, did it? I mean, that wasn't really Mario 3's thing.
Well, like you think in World 3, you could either grab the warp whistle.
What the hell was that, Tina? Tina's mad that we're not playing.
Tina was showing off what to the camera exactly?
Here, it's out of
An army man.
An army man. Oh, right.
Our army man quick look is later.
Yeah. Alright, sorry.
Tina gets upset when we talk about games that aren't Battlefield. She was very upset. She's bitter. So this dude is a lot easier if you're not stupid and don't lose your Tanuki suit power-up. Oh, now he's dead. And there are a lot of stages in the game where you have this top-down perspective, and these are a place where it really pays off to have the 3D slider on, because it's kind of tough to judge some of the depth going on without it.
So people who can't see the 3D are going to have a tougher time?
No, actually, I have really poor eyesight, really poor stereo eyesight because of my left eye, which is kind of useless. It's like dead meat in my face. And I'm playing the game without too much trouble. There has been no point at which I've said, oh my god, I'm completely incapable of playing this game and I'm doomed and it sucks. Maybe that'll change later, but I doubt it. I trust Nintendo not to get too carried away with ridiculous gimmicks. Why yes, I am Samus Aran. And that is about the level. So now, of course, as always, there's a... Oops. There we go. There's a, what do you call it? A flagpole at the end of every level.
But they don't...
Harkening back to Super Mario Brothers 1. But they don't what?
But they don't all have the Super Mario's 1 staircase.
No, that's something that only exists in a few levels, but they're still, you know... Oops. Hurt. Oh well, whatever.
You don't need that extra life. You've got 50 of them.
I have enough. I've got 53 lives. I'm good. Anyway, so yeah, that's kind of just a general sense of Mario 3D Land, and you know, there's 8 worlds, and each world seems to have 4 to 6 stages in it, and I've heard that there's a whole bunch after that, but I don't know the details. So I don't think it's a tiny game by any means. Although, compared to Skyrim, which I'm also working on right now, it's pretty modest. But sometimes you need that good antidote. Anyway.
Well, it seems with all the little secrets in there that there's a lot of depth to it. It's not something people are just going to run through once.
I see what you did there. Depth.
Ooh.
3D, yes. No, I'm hoping so. I mean, I'll be disappointed if it's as shallow as New Super Mario Brothers for DS, but it doesn't seem to be that way. Like, that game was kind of disappointing in how, like, I don't know, it just seemed kind of like it was there and then it was done. This is surprising me a lot more on every stage, and I'm confident after playing this team's previous Mario games that it will continue to kind of keep me interested all the way through the end. And anyway, we'll have our review up next Wednesday, I guess.
Wednesday,
so
all right.
we can see what we decide then.
See the final verdict there.
Yeah, thanks everyone for joining us. I hope this live stream was a success. Please don't hate us if it wasn't. We'll be on the internet again sometime soon. Thanks again.